Today I want to talk about making better choices. The best choice doesn't exist, by the way. The best choice is a subjective stance, and that implies that you made the choice that couldn't have gone any better if you chose something else or did something else throughout that process. I'm going to talk about how I choose to do these, how I choose to make the best choices on a day-to-day basis, and what's helped me throughout the years, especially when we're talking about decisions in business or decisions in finance. So, the first one is I have to create a vivid picture of what I want. What does something that I want look like? How does it feel? What is that life like? Once I start to do that, then I can create a beautiful image in my head of who I have to become to achieve the life that I want. And once you're able to have that really clear, really beautiful image, that's where most people kind of stop and decide, okay, I can do that. And then they just start to try to do something. That's just the first step of the process that you need to do to try to actually achieve your goals, not just in a set period of time, but as efficiently as possible. And give yourself the best shot at doing something great, doing something you've never done before or you've never seen anyone do before. Number one, what are the major milestones? You have this picture. You understand what you want your life to look like. You know what the day-to-day looks like. But what are the milestones? What are the big things you need to do? What are the big goals you need to hit to become that person that you haven't been, that you've never met, that you don't know if it's even possible for you to become? What are those major milestones? Do you need to learn something in particular? Do you need to earn a certain amount? Do you need to be a certain level of fitness? What does that look like? What's your major milestones? Once you understand that, you can actually start to create a pretty vivid picture of who you have to become. And the next step is going to be, what does your day-to-day need to look like to achieve those goals, to achieve those milestones? Not just realistically, but what does your day need to look like, honestly? Do you need to be going to the gym at 6 a.m., 7 days a week? Do you need to be working on your business every day, all day, every day? Who do you need to become? What does that person look like? Why aren't you that person now? What does that day-to-day feel like? You need to understand what that day-to-day feels like. That's going to help you most in deciding who you need to become to hit those goals, to become that guy, to become that person you never were, you never have been, you've never seen, you've never met. Who do you need to become? All those things are going to help you. Once you see that very clear, very, very vivid image of what that day-to-day looks like, start building a routine around it. Start building a schedule. Everything in your life, hour by hour, especially when you're trying to build something and grow something, every hour matters. It doesn't matter all day, every day, but every hour throughout your normal work week needs to count for something. You need to try to achieve a certain goal. You need to try to achieve a certain outcome. So every single minute, every single hour you spend doing something, it's going to matter, especially if you're trying to achieve results in a quicker fashion. Next, you're going to need to adjust as needed. Your plan from the start, I'm going to tell you right now, is not going to work. Your vision for the future is not accurate. You have no idea what it takes to be the person you've never been, so why are you going to assume that your plan is perfect from the jump? It's not true. Your plan is not perfect. You don't know what it's like to be that person you've never been. So, you need to adjust as needed. Maybe you don't need to go to the gym as much as you thought. Maybe you don't need to work as much as you thought. Or maybe you need to work more than you thought. Maybe you need to learn something first. Maybe you need to get a license for something. You need to adjust these plans. They're always going to change and fluctuate, but slightly. They're not going to change all the time super drastically. If you want to get outsized results, you need to kind of have a very good base and a solid understanding of what outsized results looks like to you. If you don't have that good understanding, that good knowledge base, then you're not going to have that life that you dreamed of. Outsized results don't come from outsized big actions. Outsized results come from monotonous day to day actions that seem inconsequential to most people. But those are what add up to give you the life that you've always dreamed of, to give you the life that you've always wanted. It's not something glamorous, flashy, beautiful from the start. Rarely is that the case. That's never been like that. It's always the small, day-to-day, the hard, painful changes you need to make on a daily basis that are going to get you where you want and get you what you want in the time frame. So this part is usually the hardest. This is the part where people usually give up, because then they'll start to make this routine and they're like, oh my God, this isn't working. And then they'll just stop doing it. They'll stop going. But that's the wrong approach. Make adjustments. If you can't handle what you thought you could handle, change it. Make it easier. There's no shame in that. You want to achieve a goal, why do you need to have the perfect routine from the start? You're not going to know everything. You barely know anything if you're starting a new goal. That's not going to happen. That's not going to work for you. So why would you do that to yourself? It's just unrealistic. It's irresponsible even. You shouldn't do that. You're not perfect. You don't understand everything. So stop pretending like you do. That's not going to help you. That's not going to help you achieve your goals. It's not going to help you achieve anything. It's not going to help you do anything in particular. Next is going to be to have confidence even if it's fake. Even if your confidence is not real, you need to have it. You need to pretend like you know what you're doing. You need to pretend like you have it all figured out. Because there's going to be a lot of points you don't believe in yourself. Most of this journey, you're not going to believe in yourself. That's the hardest part for most people. And there's not going to be a lot of people who believe in you all the time. But you need to understand if this is the life you want, and this is what you need to do to get that life, then you have to fake confidence. You need to believe even if you truly don't. You need to pretend like you believe. That's the hardest part. That's where it feels disingenuous. But if you really want that vision and you really understand what you need to do, even if you don't think you're making that right choice day by day by day, just pretend like you are. Delude yourself into doing it. Delude yourself into believing, yes, this is the right choice. This is what I need to be doing. I'm doing exactly what I have to, even if it's fake. Fake it till you make it. It's been a phrase for a long time. People don't agree with it. I don't at some points. But in situations to do something you've never done, to be a person you've never become, to do something you've never seen before, you have to fake it till you make it, unfortunately. Pretty much it. You like what you saw, subscribe. Thanks.